So today we're covering 1.2, quadratic equations from graphs. I apologize for my voice, I'm a little bit sick, but the learning must go on, so I'm going to make a video for you guys. So if you remember, the last thing we did was we wrote equations from absolute value functions, and you can see here that this looks like an absolute value function right here. And so what we did is we said, well, here's the vertex, and we're going to call that vertex 3, -4, and we'll write it using the equation y equals a absolute value of x minus h plus k. And then we went ahead and we filled in what we knew, and we said that this was y equals, it's opening down so it's negative, absolute value of x minus h, our h was 3, plus k, our k was -4. And we were done. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're doing with quadratics. So we find our vertex. It's the highest or the lowest point. You'll remember that definition from before. Highest or lowest point. There's our highest point. It's at 1, -2. So that's our vertex. And now we're going to use the equation y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So you can see the similarities, and we'll break more into this as we go through our example, but I wanted you to see the similarity between absolute value and a quadratic function. So here we've got our key vocabulary again. Absolute value function is just like a quadratic function. So we're going to go ahead and remove this. We don't necessarily need this, but we still use a vertex, and we still use an ordered pair. So let's just jump into our first example. So here we have this image that kind of shows us our characteristics. And again, we can identify the vertex. We can identify the end behavior. This is ending going down, so that probably gives you a hint as to what that means. And again, we can write this in an ordered pair, 1, -2. So here are our steps. Identify the vertex. Well, here's our vertex. It's at 1, -2. So we have a vertex at 1, -2. Insert the x for the h. So here's my x, here's my y. So we know that's going to be h, and that's going to be k. And we end up with y equals a, parentheses. Step 2 is to insert the x. So x minus 1. Step 3 is to insert the k plus -2, which we'll simplify in a moment. And step 4 is to insert the slope. Well, if we go back and look, it's ending down, so that tells us it's a negative function, so our a is going to become a negative. So we end up with y equals negative x minus 1, I forgot the squared, plus -2. So remember that. Don't forget to square it. That's what I just did. It must be a common error if I did it. So this is your final answer. And when you type this into Schoology, you're going to use the caret key, just like I did right there. So it's right there on number 6. If you'll hit Shift 6, there's a caret, and that's what it looked like when you actually type this in. So don't forget that you can still have double negatives here, and don't forget that if it's opening down, that has to be negative. Okay, those are the two common errors that you're going to see. And again, when you type it in, you'll type in y equals negative, open parentheses, x minus 1, close parentheses, caret, that's Shift 6, 2, that's like saying squared, okay? And then you'll go ahead and do what your k is. So our k is -2. So it's going to look like this when you type it in. Don't forget to use this caret key. That is holding down the Shift key and pressing 6. So Shift key plus 6 will give you this caret symbol, which you'll use for the exponent. So for squared, it's the caret key, and a 2 tells me it's squared, and you can subtract off 2 because this is your k term. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me and I can answer those. But this is very similar to absolute value. You guys should feel really confident.